Hey everyone, how is it going? It is your pal, Sal here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to our Cher discography journey. Today we are tackling her 7th studio album, which was released in September of 1971. Again, there's no exact date for this one, but we know it was September and we know it was 1971. And this album is titled, so there are 2 titles for this album. So it's called, originally when released, Cher, just simply Cher. We already had Cher 1966, now this is Cher 1971. But after the success of the lead single, which was Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, the album was shortly renamed thereafter to Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. So for the purpose of this video, we are just gonna call this album Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. I know it's not the original name, but listen, we already have Cher 1966, and there's still another album that's titled Cher from, I think, 1987. So Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves is cool with me, and I hope it's cool with you. So for the rest of this video, this is Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. So this album was an immensely successful album because, as we all know, in between the album that came before this, which I actually just bought the reissue vinyl for, 3614 Jackson Highway, as we all know, the last 2 albums of Cher's career were not doing all that hot. And in between, her and Sonny, they took a complete nosedive with their careers. They were... Basically, how to describe this is that I think of what was it, a time when Kathy Griffin texted Cher, and she was like, Cher, I'm performing at this rinky-dink little casino or whatever, and Cher responded back, Sonny and I once performed on the railroad tracks. The fucking railroad tracks, do you hear me? So basically, in between this and this album, Sonny and Cher were not doing so well. They were trying their best to sell Vegas shows, do shows wherever they could, and it was not a pretty time. But someone smiled upon them, and right before this album came out, they had just began the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, which became an instant success on TV and helped Cher create a whole new image. With this era that we are in now, the hippie Cher is gone, and this is basically Bob Mackie Cher, who we are with now through till the end of our days. So this was the first album released under a new label. I forget the exact label. I actually do own this one actually on vinyl. There's a few songs on it I know, and by that I mean 2. But who's the label that this is with? Kapp Records. So we have that there for our little information. And this album did chart at number 16 on the Billboard 200 and spawned 2 singles, both that did immensely well. 2 songs that are literally Cher classics. The first single was Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves, as we all know, which was a #1 hit single. Not everybody has that. And the second single, The Way of Love, was a #7 single. So she did really well. This album is... I don't know if the album per se is very well beloved, but the era and especially these 2 songs are much loved. So I think the best thing to do is get started with listening to this album, and we begin with track number 1, a song I know, a song you know. This is The Way of Love.
When you meet a boy that you like a lot, and you fall in love, but he loves you not. If a flame should start as you hold him near, better keep your heart out of danger dear.
Bring it home, come on. Let's bring it home, Cher. All right, here we go. Let's do it. Come on. That never gets old. Okay, that was The Way of Love, and I think I should tell you guys exactly how I learned this song. So I've known of its existence as a Cher fan for a long time. There's even a live version of it on the Cher Farewell, DVD and CD, but I always skipped it. I was like, I don't know this song, I don't care. whatever. And then I happened to see, well, I saw it 6 times, but I'll never forget the first time. When I went to the very first preview of the Cher show when it was in Chicago, this song appears in Act 2, where the amazing Tony Award-winning Stephanie J. Block, who played Cher in the musical, sings this song, and the way it's just set up is just gorgeous. And I remember watching the song and Stephanie specifically singing it, and I was like, oh my god. Oh my god. So in all honesty, my favorite way to hear this song is Miss Stephanie J. Block, who's also pictured right here. I always forget she's here, but she's there and there. Just beautiful. Her performance of it, oh my god. Oh, I sat through it 6 times, so wow. I mean, I saw her very first performance of doing it in the Chicago preview to the last show on Broadway. It was, oh, I miss Broadway. But, so putting that aside, this song is just gorgeous. I have learned in the years since that this song is a French song, which is nothing new to Cher. But what's interesting about this song, and what I've read about it before, is that the boy she's singing about in question might possibly be a homosexual. And that's why he doesn't love her back. Now, you can definitely take it that way. It makes sense. You could take it as just a guy that does not love her. And that's the way of love. Love will hurt you. Love will kill you. When you meet a boy that you like a lot, you fall in love, but he loves you not. And it's like, it's so gorgeous. The way Cher does it is beautiful. This is definitely one that I wish, because I know she cut out literally for the Here We Go Again tour, and God willing it gets to go up again. She cut out, what is it? Obviously Gypsies, Tramps Thieves, Half Breed, and Dark Lady. And you know what? A lot of people have been very pissed about that. You know, I was okay with it. You know, I feel like because the Dancing Queen era is of my era, I appreciate that's a little part of my era in the Cher, in my Cher, journey. But this is one that I would love to see make a comeback in her shows. I think it would be gorgeous to see it, to view it. I feel like she would slay the scene singing it now. It's a beautiful song. I love hearing it every time. And just as an FYI, go check out Stephanie J. Block's version of it. You will not be sorry. Track number 2, the iconic Cher classic, Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. Let's do it! Come on!
I was born in the wagon of a traveling show. My mama used to dance for the money they'd throw. Papa would do whatever he could. Preach a little gospel. Sell a couple bottles of Dr. Blue.
Come on, let's go!
Gypsies, tramps, and thieves. We hear it from the people of the town. They call us Gypsies, tramps, and thieves. But every night all the men would come around
and lay the money down. We haven't seen it for a while. Oh no. Come on.
Gypsies, tramps, and thieves. We hear it from the people of the town. They call us Gypsies, tramps, and thieves. But every night all the men would come around
and lay the money down. Okay, that was obviously Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. And this is a song that I how do I put this? I feel like I've known this song all my life. Whether it's been, like, especially for many years where it was not a part of my life, but when I first got back into Cher when I was around my junior year of high school, I remember I overheard this song again, and I just remembered, like, when I was so little, like, seeing her do it live. It was a very bizarre song then, and I feel like it's still a very bizarre song to me now. I mean, it's one of the earliest examples, even though we have heard a few in the older albums, that are clear story songs. I just love this story. It's this poor girl, Cher herself, who's just stuck in this, like, around these people that she accepts and she loves, but you sense this hunger that she wants to get out, and that she hates what people call them. It's such an interesting song. I love hearing it every time. The production is just gorgeous. And also with these first 2 songs, I mean, it's so clearly 70s Cher. I mean, she just sounds so good. I love it. It's a what can I truly say about Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves? But it's an amazing song, and I love hearing it every time. Track number 3, He'll Never Know. From here on in, for the rest of this album, we have a bunch of, well, the rest, I don't know any of these songs, so here we go. He'll Never Know.
knowing they'll be mine again when evening has begun. And when I see their
hand in hand.
That I have found the husband and the son that I have built.
Oh, built. That's so Cher. Oh my God.
He'll never know.
Wait.
On that night long ago.
She cheated on her husband. Whoa.
He'll never know. It's locked in my mind.
Keep it in there.
His son's only mine.
That's crazy. Especially singing about this in 1971.
Sometimes on all the things I said to him today, wondering if I might have had a careless word to say.
Nice. Here we go.
No, he'll never know.
I love the backing vocals.
Of that
Let's go one more time.
no, he'll never know.
Oh. 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 Okay. Alright. 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 Hey. Now this one I liked. Lyrically, it's so simple. Basically, Cher is looking at her husband and her son, and she's literally having an instant flashback in her... she's having not a flashback, like a little more of a crisis in her head. She's like, damn, that's my husband, that's my son, but that is not my husband's son. I had an affair, and he'll never know. This song is so dramatic, so theatrical in the way that it sets itself up. I was almost thinking it reminded me, like, towards the end of Gone with the Wind when Scarlett O'Hara is like, I'll never be hungry again, and it's like, bum, 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 and then, I could see Cher almost like in that silhouette singing this song, he'll never know, and you're kind of like, ah, it's so great. I actually would love to know, if she's performed this. And I wonder, like, was this, well, again, it's the 70s, although it's still early 70s. Was this, like, scandalous back? Why isn't YouTube loading? No. Oh, damn. No live performances on the YouTube, but I loved it. And I love that we got one of her first Cher-y vocals on it where she was like, oh, it was very Cher, and I was like, my baby. This was gorgeous. I would love to hear Cher do this one live. Beautiful. I loved it. Everything about it was great. Track number 4, Fire and Rain. This kind of has like a country influence to it.
I've seen fire, I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days that I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend. Back turned toward the sun.
Oh, that's pretty in the background.
Wind blows, it'll turn your head around. There's hours of time on a telephone line, talking about things to come. I've seen lonely times when I could not find me old friend, but I always thought I'd see you again.
Okay, that was Fire and Rain, and this track was so far, I feel like, the most lyrically, like, you had to dissect it a little bit, but I think I kind of pick up what's going on down here. So this is a cover, specifically, by a guy named James Taylor, and it's labeled on Wikipedia as folk rock, and that makes sense to me. I definitely heard the folk in it, but I think Cher's version is a tad more country, maybe, than the original could be. I've not heard it, so, but I don't know, I heard a little more country in this one. So the premise of this song, Fire and Rain, is Cher is kind of like, it's almost weird because it feels like she's indifferent to what's happening right now. So it sounds like I was taken that she was like living with this guy and he left. And she wakes up and they're like, he's gone. And she's like, oh. She was like, I did not expect this to happen today. And especially that's what the chorus like leads up to. It's like, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. I've seen sunny days I thought would never end. I've seen lonely times when I could not find a friend, but I always thought I'd see you again. And she doesn't. And I'm like, it's interesting. Like, she doesn't sound particularly heartbroken, but she doesn't sound unbothered either. It's like this weird song that lies in the middle. But I think that that's what makes it most interesting, because you're kind of like, either when you sing a song, you're either one way to the right or one way to the left, and here she's just in the middle. I liked it. I really thought it was interesting. I'm curious, did she do this one live? Because I feel like this maybe is a little more acceptable to do on TV. Oh no, she hasn't. So I'm interesting. Okay. But I did like this track. I thought it was really fun. I liked the country influence on it, and she seemed really into it. Track number 5, When You Find Out Where You're Going, Let Me Know.
When you find out
those low vocals.
where you're going, let me know.
No. Damn.
'Cause I love you just enough to let you go. While you're running free and clear, please don't disappear. When you
It's, again, like a West, this is like podunk a bit.
let me know.
Oh.
When you find out where you're going,
yeah.
count me in.
Count me in.
No,
Okay.
I'm letting go.
Letting go.
I know we'll be alright.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Find out where you're going, let me know.
Okay, that was When You Find Out Where You're Going, Let Me Know. And I think so far this is probably my least favorite track of the album so far. It feels very similar to Fire and Rain in the sense that Cher, while her vocal is good, she's clearly into the song. It feels a little more like she's like, okay, when you find out where you're going, just let me know. That's cool, whatever. Just, I'm like, I'd like to know, but whatever you gotta do, it's fine, cool with me. I don't really care. Again, this is just so like bizarre that she's like so like in the middle with 2 of these songs already. I definitely got much more of a country western influence with this song. It sounded a lot like podunk in some parts. I loved her vocals on it. I loved the vocals. So I think for now I'm just gonna not necessarily put a like next to it, but I respect it. I just think that the other one's just a little too similar. Okay, track number 6 is a song that was exclusive to the UK pressing of the album. So just to get this out of the way, track 6, this one, and 12 are only on the UK releases. They're on like the end of each side of the LP, and this is also the last song of the LP. So this is classified 1A. And this was written by Sonny, so... this is like a very stripped ballad.
When I saw my blood, some guy is gonna knock it out.
Oh, it almost looks like it's a funeral in the background with the organ.
Honey, he's gonna try anymore.
Aww. Oh, I think.
One more time, I wish
Oh.
that I could see you.
Oh, so he is dead.
Just
Oh, okay.
one more time, I wish that you were near. Real clear.
Oh dear. That was low. No, not the Star-Spangled Banner. Well, that just made me a little sad. So clearly this is a Cher song that, wow, this is a Debbie Downer right here. The person that, her significant other, whoever she's in love with or her love is dead. And this is a very passionate song. Probably one of the most passionate vocals I think I've ever heard from Cher. The way she is just spewing these words towards the end, I was like, oh my God. Wow. You know, oh my God. And at first too, I didn't realize that it was like a song about the person that was necessarily dead, but then I like heard the organ and I was like, oh, this sounds like a funeral, and it is. I wonder if this is like about like a, like almost like, or even like, since it includes the Star Spangled Banner at the end, I wonder if it's like about like a soldier or something from the war. This just, oh my god, this hits you raw and hard. I almost think too, if you had made like a version of the Cher show, the musical, that could be like 5 hours long and go into great detail about everything regarding Cher, this would have been an amazing song to include when Sonny died. Yeah, this is just really gorgeous. I kind of understand its choice to maybe not necessarily be included in all pressings of the album. It's a little heavy, and it doesn't necessarily fit per se, but I'm so happy I heard this. Interesting, an interesting piece, but this is one that'll definitely stick out with me from this album, even though it doesn't necessarily fit, but the vocal from Cher is just gorgeous. The actress, Oscar Award winner, future Oscar Award winner right there, so it says something. Track number 7, He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, which, interesting title. Let's go for it. Oh, the low notes.
But I'm strong. I'm strong enough to carry him.
The low notes are just delicious right here. Wow. Wow. Okay, this song was interesting. I think with the title, with what I was able to find online, so the term that this title comes from, He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, this song is actually originally a song by the Hollies, which is a boy? It's a boy band, right? I really can't tell with this photo. But I guess the saying comes from a story where a little girl is carrying a big baby boy, and seeing her struggling, someone asked if she wasn't tired, and she replied, "No, he's not heavy, he's my brother." So I feel like you could take this song in many ways. Obviously, you could take it in the weight factor. Like, one thing I was getting, that Cher and her brother, which she only has a sister, so her brother in this song, they were out hiking, he got wounded, she had to carry him back, and it doesn't matter, he ain't heavy, that's her brother, it doesn't matter how heavy he is, she's gonna get him to safety. Or you could take it in the direction of, she lives with a brother who has a lot of, like, something weighing heavily on his mind, and that's not heavy to her because that's her brother. She'll help him take care of it. There's like a couple ways you can take it. The song itself, I was like, okay, I like it. I think what's lovely is Cher's vocals. I mean, especially all throughout this album, the low notes on here are just delicious. She's just so it lands. It's like, if you want to stick the landing, she sticks the landing every time on this. So for the song itself, not my favorite thing I've heard. I guess I do appreciate, standing by your sibling, but it's the vocals for me that did this one. So it's gonna get a like next to it. Track number 8 has a title that I love because it's such a foreshadowing title. I Hate to Sleep Alone, because actually it's weird to think in context, but this is 71 and the Cher album is what, 80, 88, 87? I mean, it's only about, technically, under 20 years until she would record another song called We All Sleep Alone. But let's hear I Hate to Sleep Alone, because, it's like, oh, this one sounds a little happier. Okay, this sounds a little more like her 60s work.
They say you found somebody new. You know I hate to sleep alone, but I just wish that you'd come home.
This sounds like something I know, but I don't know what it is. What does this sound like? Oh, that was a cool... Oh, it's already over. Okay. That was I Hate to Sleep Alone, and it was okay. I'm not gonna put a like next to it because I wasn't really a whole like stan of it. Lyrically, I thought it was interesting. You know, she's just like, why would you do this? You know I hate to sleep alone. What's weird is that the production seems at odds with the lyrics. Like, the song sounds very joyful, like very like fun, fast paced, but Cher's like a little upset. She's like, you know I don't like this. So in all, it was kind of more of a mixed bag for me, this one. But yeah, that's I Hate to Sleep Alone. Track number 9, I'm in the Middle.
And if you come to me with tears in your eyes, don't say goodbye, just leave.
Just leave.
You know that I'm restless and afraid. And if you love me, I know that you will see. Oh, I'm in the middle of something I don't understand. How can my reasons for living slip right through my hands? I'm in the middle of something I don't understand.
This was actually a really, really interesting piece by Cher. It shows that it's a song about being confused, and you're like, how the hell did I get into this situation that I'm in right now? I love the lyrics where she's where it starts going and she's like, don't make no difference what you think of me, you know that I'm restless and afraid, and if you love me I know that you will see, you keep making promises that I made, because I'm in the middle of something I don't understand. How can my reasons for living keep slipping through my hands? Like, when it's like you think you got one thing straight, the next thing goes wrong, the next thing you think is right, that's wrong. It's all about just being confused. I think this is a perfect representation of feelings you can feel in life. I like the playful energy of it. It shows that Cher's confused, but almost as if the production is like the universe. The universe is like, ha ha ha, we're tricking ya. I liked this a lot. I really, really enjoyed it. I think that this would be a fun one to pop off live, but I don't think Cher does it, so there's that. Track number 10, Touch and Go.
Don't you love and don't let it die. Even though it's been touch and go, all and on, weak and strong, but then we didn't know that with hope we could cope with all the ups and downs, So please stay around, I need you so. Oh, baby, now touch and go, all and on.
Okay, that was Touch and Go, and that didn't really do a whole lot for me. I mean, the song's only 2 minutes, so it really does not have a chance to like build to really much of anything. That chorus is catchy, though. It's been touch and go, off and on, weak and strong. But I mean, other than that, I was not fully into this one. It sticks out, but as a whole, it just really didn't do a whole lot for me. Track number 11, One Honest Man. Oh, these vocals.
I could find it if I wanted to. I do. But I can't find one honest man.
Oh no.
Man.
These vocals. Again, this is just so funny to me because Cher would have been so young here, and she sounds like an old ass woman right here, where she's like, "Why can't I find me one honest man?" Like, she sounds like an old like Southern lady. But you know what? This song still applies today, because I'll tell you this much: I can't find me one honest man either. I don't know if this is necessarily telling about how things would end up or how things would end up with Sonny. But it's telling. It's telling. And I love how, again, I just love how she sounds so much wiser before her ears here. Why can't I find me? Lovely. I liked this one. I thought it was fun. Track number 12, the final track of the album, which is called Don't Put It On Me, and this one was written by Sonny and was exclusive to the UK only. Oh.
Don't do it to me. Baby, I can't go and live the way I was, the way I did before you knew me. Day, sunny day, you knew me. Don't put me through it. Don't say you told me someday you might leave and that I knew it. I strip myself naked for you. Once someone does that, there's no turning back and there's no more to do. Don't put it on me. Don't baby, don't put it on me.
Okay, that was Don't Put It On Me, and it's clearly very evident in these two UK bonus tracks that I feel like Cher is just hitting it a little harder with her vocals and the production, and maybe like for an American audience that might have maybe just been a little too much, but regardless, I think this song is interesting, and what it suggests is that like in a relationship, like once it's over, like you can't necessarily go back to the person who you were before that said relationship. I don't know if I agree with everything that Cher is saying in here, but this song was definitely interesting, and warrants enough merit to easily get a like next to it. It's not the most pleasant thing to listen to, but it does stick out. So that was Don't Put It On Me. Okay, guys, we just finished Cher's 7th, I keep wanting to say 8th, but it's not, 7th studio album, Gypsies, Tramps Thieves. And this album, it was very interesting to go through and listen to this, because this is truly the beginning of the Cher that began in the 70s, and the Cher that I feel is still more, you know, this is where people like, I feel Cher started, at least with her music as well too. This album, is a very clear progression after 3614 Jackson Highway. I think, you know, in comparison to the two, I think 3614 Jackson Highway works a little better as an album in regards of the vibe. I feel like the vibe of Jackson Highway, there's just something so specific about it that I've really been growing to love. With this album, you definitely hear that we are getting better content from the 60s work. Like, I feel like even though this is by and large a bunch of mishmash songs together, it seems there's a little less covers. It just doesn't feel like there's as much of a central theme per se. And not that there necessarily needs to be a theme for everything, but you know what I mean? I think it's hard to describe, but I feel like there's a vibe of Jackson Highway, but there's not necessarily a vibe per se to this one. But one of the things you get in here is that we definitely get much more mature songs, mature lyrics, and a much more mature vocal from Cher. In many of these songs, the low notes are absolutely slaying the scene. It's like butter. It's like perfect butter, the way her voice sounds so smooth in them. And we get some very emotional, probably some of the most emotional stuff we've gotten from Cher, especially with Classified 1A. Like, whoa, sad. So, as in all, I'm very happy that I finally took the time to listen to this one. I think my favorite tracks that I have since learned are He'll Never Know, Fire and Rain, Classified 1A, I'm in the Middle, He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother, I did like, and Don't Put It On Me, and One Honest Man. I think there are some great things on here. Touch and Go, I Hate to Sleep Alone, and When You Find Out Where You're Going, Let Me Know, are okay. I feel at the end of the day, this does rise above the 60s material by far, but I'm always excited to see where we're headed next from here. It was interesting to finally take the time to listen to this one. So, what do you guys think of Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves? Let me know in the comments below. As always, do not forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram at Salvador J. Rocha, Twitter at Sal Says Stuff, TikTok at SalRocha1, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon. I was on, what's the pun I'm going to end on? I'm one honest man. This is one honest man coming to you, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.